Hey friends, legends, mates, champions, all the good stuff, all you amazing people out there. Welcome to my very first technique spotlight. Technique spotlight video where we literally look at one ugly art technique. This is part of my ugly art movement where I literally show you guys how to make ugly art for your well-being, for just to challenge what really good art is, because good art's not perfect. Perfectionism doesn't exist. It's a very subjective thing. Perfect for one is not always perfect for another. Today, we're gonna have a look at a technique that I love. First of many, and I'm really hoping you love these as much as I'm enjoying making them, even though it's my first one. I'm enjoying the first minute. Today's technique is using your non-dominant hand. Now, before we get into it, I just want to have a really super quick talk about what that is and why we do it. So by using our non-dominant hand, there's a couple of things that happens. The first is that we loosen up. We lose a lot of that control. A lot of that control that when we're striving for perfection, we try to control the process so much more. So by using our non-dominant hand, the process becomes a little bit more unpredictable and you don't control it as much. You lose a lot of that control over it. So that's kind of your first reason why we use our non-dominant hand. The other one is, unfortunately, it doesn't apply for everybody. And I'm going to get some scientificness happening here. When we use our right hand, we actually activate our left side of our brain. And when we use our left hand, we activate our right side of our brain. Let me tell you a little bit about our right side of our brain. So for me, because I'm right-handed, when I use my left hand, I'm activating that right side of my brain. And let me tell you a little bit about that right side of your brain. It's in charge of, and it affects your creativity, your imagination, your artisticness. I've started a new word there. I'm not sure if it's a word or not, but it is now. Spatial awareness, visual representation. That's what your right side of your brain, your right side of your brain is the creative side of your brain. So simply by the fact I've picked up my pen and I've put it in my left hand, I'm actually activating that. And so there's things that happen without me even realizing, subconsciously, that happens. The times I've done this with classes and workshops, a lot of people love. I even did this with some high school kids the other day and they weren't really into art that much. But when we did our left hand, quite a few of the kids said, I actually prefer that drawing to my normal drawing. Like, it looks better because of that brain. It's your brain. You do things naturally without thinking about it that are more creative, with more artistic ability when you use your left hand. Unfortunately, if you are already left-handed, means that, well, actually not unfortunately, so jealous if you're left-handed, because that side of your brain's always activated. But what you need to have a look next time, since I started doing this and doing research about it and stuff, I actually take note of artists that I love that are left-handed. There are a lot of artists that are left-handed. In saying that, if you're left-handed, you're still going to use your non-dominant hand, so you're going to use your right for this, because we want that lack of control and we want that unpredictability. It also makes you slow down a lot too, which I love. I work fast, so slowing down for me is good. It's really good for my mental health sometimes, just to slow down and give myself a break. Oh, and the marks you make, I think you'll just have to see it to believe it. The marks are more interesting and exciting. Trust me, they're amazing. I don't actually have some finished artworks that I have made using just my left hand. The reason for this is I don't often use it in isolation. I often use it with other techniques. When I do it, I can't say this artwork was made with my left hand. I guarantee every single one of my charcoal drawings, I've used my left hand at some point in it. Guarantee it every single time. We're just going to get stuck in and I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. Here's my left hand. What? here I am with Willis. This is Willis, my newest A3 sketchbook. I'm going to show you a couple of things. I'm going to show you with some dry media how I use my left hand. I'm going to show you with wet media. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do a charcoal drawing for you guys. This here has to be my favorite charcoal. So it's a round charcoal. It's compressed charcoal by Credit Card. It's their chunky charcoal. It's really cool. I love it. So you see, I haven't used it heaps, but they're not the easiest to get. I'm actually going to do a fish. I'm going to show you the fish picture because it's by Holly Cannon. Part of her Holly Cannon's Patreon. And you have access to all her photos for like $1.50 a week. Like, it's crazy cheap. I'm actually not even going to draw the picture exactly because I'm actually going to mirror it. I'm going to do one fish this way. I'm just doing the fish head. I quite enjoy doing fish heads. So look, I've already dirtied my hand. So I've got my charcoal in my left hand. And one thing I can do is I can just literally just start drawing. But another thing I can do, especially if I've got something like this where, see how there's lots of different surfaces and points and stuff. If I've got charcoal like this, where I can get thick and thin lines, I will actually kind of turn my charcoal and change the way that I'm holding it. So I'm kind of rotating it as I'm drawing it, which I did a charcoal drawing class once, and apparently that's what Brett Whiteley used to do, apparently. So you can see it's about the line and the quality of line. You can kind of see that it's so much more about the quality of the line. And you can see, like, I'm going fairly slow. I'm going to kind of move it about. I'm holding my charcoal super loose in my hand. And I'm even going over the lines. What I have done in the past is I have entirely rubbed it out and then redrawn it. And you got these ghost marks. It's such a cool... It's cool. It's cool. Just that's all I'm saying. Just getting in there with it and moving it about, getting the point. And your quality of line, it's because what happens is it's no longer just a sketch. It's an interesting sketch. I'll go over it again. Sometimes I'll use a different thickness. Sometimes I might grab a different charcoal. And, you know, if I wanted to go on the side and just kind of fill some bits in. This bit's quite dark. But then, you know, if I'm going to smudge some of that, using that hand as well to smudge. Don't use your right hand at all. Really challenge yourself. Why not? We'll smudge it all and we'll come back in. What I can actually do, because I've lost a lot of that definition in old mate's eye, is come through with either white or another colour. So this is just a blue soft pastel. I would also come in with an eraser. All of it. Just really embracing that left hand. I think I've gone a bit over the top with the smudging here, but that's alright. I'm just going to erase it a bit. But all with my left hand. All with my left hand. Because you can use your eraser as a drawing tool as well. Your fingers are a drawing tool. Your erasers are drawing tools. Don't see your eraser as erasing mistakes. See it as a way, well, if I can add a bit of a line in here, I'm actually going to carve away with my eraser now. Another thing is, what I was saying about combining techniques is I often use a stick to move away from the canvas. So here I've got a bit of charcoal on the end of the stick, but again, I'm still just using my left hand. This adds an extra layer of losing that control. This isn't even secured on this stick very well at all. So the charcoal is moving about. So you're kind of getting different lines, and suddenly a sketch of a fish has become quite interesting. Is it my best sketch? No, but it's in my sketchbook and it doesn't matter if it's ugly. We're making ugly art. Here on this page, I'm actually going to show you how I would do this with acrylic paint, a wet medium. I'm just using some random paints. I'm actually not even thinking about the colours very much. I'm just thinking about, I need to use up some of this older cheap paint. I'm using quite a big brush. I'm still using my left hand though, and I'm still going to use a fish. So sometimes it's really beneficial as well, drawing the same thing over and over again, seeing what you like, what you don't like, all that good stuff. So I'm starting with a big brush, and I want this real dry brush technique, but this is not a painting tutorial, but I'm just showing you how, you know, if I kind of move my brush around a bit like how I did the charcoal, I get different qualities of line and texture as well. So this layer is really just about me getting down some colour and general big shape. That'll do for that one. I'm just actually going to add some acrylic ink to this. This is a really light colour, so I'm actually going to add some of this. I've got this muted violet by Liquitex. I'm not even going to mix it very well. I'm just going to get my slightly smaller brush and just, oh, this one's actually even hard. That's alright, doesn't matter. So I've just added some of that muted violet in there. And again, I'm just, with charcoal as well as acrylic, you want to build up layers, you know. I also don't want it to just be the outline. I don't want it to be just the outline, so I'm going to be looking at shapes as well. And I can turn the brush. Like I said, this brush is really stiff. I've obviously let paint dry on it, but that doesn't matter. I'm all for it. Oh, he looks a bit cranky, doesn't he? So I'm kind of looking for some slightly different, some slightly darker shapes. Actually, probably this brush might even be a bit too small. So I kind of want to demonstrate to you, you don't have to have all the fancy stuff. This is a Montmartre, just a little brush. It's actually quite short, so you don't have to have a long brush. Don't ever think you've got to have the same equipment as someone else. You can literally have, just go and use whatever you've already got. You know, and that's what I'm doing here today. So I'm just going to add more of that muted violet now. Just going to keep adding that muted violet and build up those colours. Again, just all with my left hand. All with the left hand, mate. Ideally, you'd want to probably try and get this to actually dry a little bit. But, no, I'm not going to do that. I want to get this little video out for you. See, his eye's getting quite big there. Might leave the eye for a little bit. So you see, I'm just building it up, but like, look at those marks that I'm making with this brush. They are just so much more interesting than I would if I was using my right hand. I'm going to go in with just some plain acrylic ink because it's darker than what's already there. I'm actually going to leave that there because that's the whole idea. We're making something ugly. You can see generally it's a fish. Being a mixed media artist, I might even come in now with, once I let that dry, come in now with some charcoal or some of my, maybe my, you know, the Liquitex Intense pencils. I really love this technique. Normally with charcoal, I would work into it more. I'd probably erase this entire thing and then go into it again with my left hand, like I said, to add those ghost marks and that history of the mark making. That's always really cool. It adds a lot of interest. But you can see as a glance, the left hand really does help loosen you up and make ugly art. And you know what? These are so much more interesting than a perfect sketch of this fish. Anyway, try it out. Tag me over on Instagram. We'll put all that information up on here. Hashtag the ugly art movement, because we're making this, we're getting this rolling, this is happening. Sign up to my newsletter, link will be down below. Like and subscribe. Oh my gosh, there's so many things you can do to help support me. If you do join my newsletter, I actually give you a ugly art workbook for free, as well as a 20% off code. Amazing. It's so worth becoming part of my newsletter. And you get to know when things are coming out early. They are the best people. I've had some amazing people sign up lately. So sign up, shoot me an email. It'll be amazing. Thanks for joining me. Let me know how you liked our first technique spotlight. Bye.